October night, watching maximum velocity weather. This guy here, that's where I get my update stuff. He's pretty good. He's got good sources there. And I think he's live right now. I'm not sure, but yeah, our current conditions here in Englewood. My welder's over here. It's doing good. I was using it yesterday. And out the side door here. Oh yeah, the sun's coming out finally. It's just a little bit breezy right now. I want to keep this door closed, keep our air conditioning in for as long as we can. So yeah, it's kind of, whoops. There we go. A little gusty, breezy, on and off. Typical bandy style of hurricane activity. You can see these lower level clouds. Oh, there's a little thunder there. Getting some thunder, lightning, and rain. But the winds are kind of out of the east, feeding towards the storm right now as they were before. Oh, I got a bee up here floating around. Looks like a bee. Trying to head upwind or downwind. Wait. Yeah, he's going to be going that way. So, yeah, everything's blowing away from the house right now, which is really good because I'm kind of worried about these two oak trees. That one especially, because the roots did lift up a little bit from Ian, and I don't want that coming over on the house, but if it's blowing the other way, there was an even bigger oak tree right there. You can just see the stump of it. That went over in Ian, took out our power lines up there, and you can, if I zoomed in and walked over there, you can see where they crimp those lines. They put a little sleeve on there and they hydraulically clamp it on there, so the two lines are just butted together, and they got a little sleeve hold them together. Kind of interesting the way they do that. And then they pop that line right back up, and a few times they don't have to string a new line. They just basically weld it, crimp it back together, and you can hear the, and when the thunder really rolls along, it goes boom, when it goes bang, and a little bit of rumble afterwards. But when it's like a rumble that sounds like a train rolling, that could potentially be a tornado. And tornadoes, I'm not worried so much about the storm and 120 to 130 mile an hour winds here. We've done that with Ian. But a tornado, that's a whole different story there. Tornadoes can get up to incredible velocities. There's a little bird going across there. Be safe, little bird. But yeah, no blue sky. It's pretty solid cloud cover when you're looking at the radar. It doesn't look like there's any bands to it. It just looks like a big pancake, buzzsaw kind of a deal. But the rain and wind is kind of sporadic underneath that cloak cover. You can see the cover up on top, but then you can see these lower clouds kind of moving through. So this is actually kind of a clear spot, and then I can almost see blue sky through there. Not quite though. It's a pretty good little blanket, and those upper clouds are very kind of stationary. They're not moving very fast at all. I'll have to keep an eye on those to see which way they are tracking, but the wind and the lower clouds, you can see those moving across pretty good. Probably about 15 to maybe 25 on the ground. Probably a little faster, probably 30, 40 up there, a little more lightning there. Probably those lower clouds are going a little faster than 15 or 20, but it's gusting on and off here. Oh, I got to go screw down my, oh, there's another bird. Got to go screw down my garage door. All right, we'll give you another handy hurricane tip here. Or hurricane prepping tip. Let's get that. I'll set the camera up here. Now that I got all this stuff in the way, I got my big Johnson Evinrude sign, or Evinrude Johnson sign down here. My latest acquisition. I haven't even paid for this thing yet, so I owe money on this. I had to put it in the house. I don't want it to get damaged. 6 foot long, 4 foot high, very rare, from the 70s, and it's been through, geez, I don't even know how many hurricanes. We found it after Hurricane Debbie. It was laying. Well, that's a whole nother story. What we're going to do here is we're going to try to screw this door to the frame. We're going to, hang on, I got to go find some screws first. Here, I'll let you listen to it for a minute while I'm looking for my screws. As it starts creaking, and then you can hear rain hitting it, and then it'll stop. Right now it's pretty quiet. Man, I had a bunch of screws here. There's one of them. I think that's a good screw. I wonder if Home Depot's open. Wait, there they are. Found them. You're going to need some big long screws, at least 3 inches. 4 inches or 3.5 inches would probably be better, because I got to find some washers too. Hang on. Somewhere. Maybe they're here. I found one of my big ball bearings. I can bounce that on my anvil. Maybe we'll do that later. That door's not doing much. Alright, I know I got some washers, but I can't find them. So I got these clips. These are for holding on boat cushions. You screw them on, and there's a hole in the back of the cushion, and it goes on there and locks onto that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use it like this, and put a screw through there and hook it on the edge of the door, and then screw it into the wood frame. So that's going to hold the door tightly against the frame there. The only problem is I got my sign and all this stuff in the garage now. Before I do, well, you got to kind of get the stuff in, then shut the door. So, anyways, I'm going to have to climb over all of this stuff to try to get in there. Or wait, I know what I got to do. I got to move. Now I can get in here. I'm going to have to get the right tip on my screw gun. Hang on. You ever notice how one of those 3-minute jobs turns into like an hour-and-a-half project? And everything you do, sorry the camera is bouncing around there. It's on a piece of plywood. There, we'll move that over a little. That's better. Alright, so now I gotta find... Wait, I got a whole pack of new ones here. Ah, there they are. Yeah, I got all this stuff around somewhere. Alright, so we're gonna put that in there. Get a few of these clips. I figure about maybe 3 or 4 on each side should be good. Should have just left these things screwed onto the side of the door over here. Hey, there's a vise down there. I found my vise. All right, now and this isn't as easy as it sounded. It's what the heck? Okay, I'll put that through there. Right side of the cable. Where the hell is the wood here? Come on. Alright, I'm not sure. I'm not hitting the wood. There it is. Alright, that's not going to work. I need something wider than a washer. I used washers before, but I guess I had longer screws. These aren't making it in through the drywall to hold the clip. Alright, well, it doesn't look like I'm going to... They say this thing's holding 902 millibars, which is, as I showed on my my barometers, it's way low. It's down like 27.6 or something in inches of mercury. But so yeah, that's really low. That's kind of concerning there. Man, it doesn't look like I've got any screws longer than 3 inches anywhere. And I'm not gonna... Got my found my screw tray. Look at this collection of old phones I've got here. This is going like back 22 years or something. Remember, anybody remember Nextel push to talk? You push the button on. Ooh, wow, this thing is really gross. Push the button on the side and you could just like doo-doo talk to anybody you wanted. And then there's another. That's a Nextel too. So this is like the oldest phone. This is our next to oldest. And then we went through a progression of flip phones and little tiny LG phones with these weird. I don't even know how this one would charge. And this one, I remember that one. I was cast netting and I had it in my cargo pocket and stepped out into the water and ruined that one. Then there's another Nextel one. I think that came next. So yeah, nice collection of old cameras there. All right, so it doesn't look like I'm going to get... I have to make some brackets or something. I'm going to have to get the tin snips out. I need to make like a little hook that's going to hook over the edge of the door, but be able to screw down here. So it needs to have like a bracing on the sides and like a clamp, like a C clamp, half a C clamp. The screw can go through, but still hook over the edge of the door and fit between the track and the door and around the cable that's on the edge, which goes to the spring up there that helps lift the door. So I don't know. If I had some rings welded onto the frame of the door and then just put the screws in there and took them out when I didn't need them, and as long as it cleared all the cables and stuff going up and down, I'd be able to just leave those on there and then just screw it in when I need to screw it in. Or maybe if I just screwed the frame down more securely. Well, there's still a little bit of wiggle room in there. I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out, though. But that's our current conditions. Don't have my door screwed down, but I got enough crap piled up again. Oh, that's all I did. Just move the joiner and the anvil over there on the other side of the sign here, and push the welding bottles and the grinder and all that. So just, yeah, I'm just going to keep everything up against the door. That'll probably work. Probably better than nothing anyways. All right, 16 minutes. That's a long video. Thanks for staying tuned for the whole thing if you did. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay in touch, because if we lose power and internet, my phone service is the only way we're going to be able to, well, or the only way you're going to be able to connect to me. So, and oh, and that, yeah, if you have to store your isinglass or your Strataglass for your boat enclosure, you want to hang that from something so that it's suspended. Rolled up and crinkled or laying flat rolled up is really bad. You want to kind of keep them stretched out, so hanging from a corner or hanging from an edge down is going to be the less stress, the less stretch, and the less wear on them. So that's where we're at. Over and out.